Hello everyone. Today we're going to be covering how to convert Mayan symbols to the Hindu Arabic system and then as well as converting Hindu Arabics to the Mayan system. So before we begin to converting though, I'd like to cover the Mayan numerals, the values of all of them so that we know the Mayan system. So the Mayan system has three symbols in it. It's going to have a dot, a bar, and a shell. The dot's going to be worth 1, the bar is 5, and the shell is 0. Now, you can't get a lot of numbers with just a 1, a 5, and a 0, but what the Mayans do is they have a vertical stacking system. So with these three symbols, they're able to make a bunch of numbers with them. So the way the stacking system works is each level is going to be 20 times the one below it. So for instance, that dot that's worth 1 on the bottom level on your second is going to be worth 20, and then on the third, there's an exception. It's going to be worth 360. The reason why is because the Mayan calendar, our calendar now has 365 days. It's easier if you make it 360 than 400 so you don't have to backtrack. So, as all levels follow this pattern, so it's going to be multiplication of 20. So, any level past 3 is going to be 360 times 20, then 7200 by 20, and so on and so forth. So, on the right side here, we have an example of this. So you have three levels. You have the bottom, the middle, top. On the bottom there, you have a bar, and then you have four circles. So that's going to be the Mayan symbol for 9. In the middle, you have three circles. Since it's on the second one, each circle there is going to be worth 20 value instead of 1. So it's going to be 60 for that level. And then on the top, you have just one dot. And that one, because it's on the top, is worth 360 instead of 1. So that means your total for this is going to be 429. So now we'll talk about how we're going to convert these numbers. So similar to that example, what we're going to do is basically break this apart into each level, find the value of that level, and then add everything together at the end. So to make it easier for us, we're going to try solving for this here on the left side. But to make it easier for us to understand it, I'm going to break it up into each level and then solve for each one individually. So let's start with just we'll start on the right side. We'll start with the three dots in the line. We're going to start here because it's the one spot. We're not going to have to do any multiplication yet. Now, I've put the values of each symbol there at the top so that we don't forget them. So we have a bar and we have three dots. So we're going to start. The bar is worth 5, and then each of the dots is worth 1. So we're going to have 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to have 8. So that one's going to be worth 8. Next, we have the shell. Now, the shell is worth 0. It is in the second level. So you're going to have to multiply whatever it is by 20 to get the value of it. But 0 times 20 is still going to be 0. And then finally, we have one dot on the third. And of course, the third level, you multiply by 360. So it's going to be a value of 1 since it's the dot. And we multiply by 360, which means it's going to be 360. Now to get our final value, all we got to do is add these numbers together. So it's going to be 360 plus 0, which is still 360, plus 8, which is going to be 368 as our final number. Now, that's how you convert Mayans to Hindu Arabic. Now let's do the opposite. Let's convert a Hindu Arabic number to the Mayan system. So the number we're going to try converting here is going to be 568. Now the way to convert it back to the Mayans is you're going to take those multiplication values and instead we're going to divide the number. And you're going to start with the 360, work our way down. So the best way to do this, look at the number, think of which level it's going to fit in first, and start from there. So the fourth level is 7,200. You can't divide 568 by 7,200 by any. So our next level is the 360. So we're going to divide 568 by 360 to get the third level's value. So 568, 360 goes into that one time, and we have a remainder of 208. So what we'll do is because 361 in once, we're going to add a dot because that's what's going to be on the third value for when we add all the numbers back together at the end. So now you're probably wondering how we get to the other one. So we're going to take that remainder of 208 and we're going to divide it by the next level's value, which is going to be 20. So 20 goes into 208 10 times, and you're going to have a remainder of 8 after that. So, because it goes in 10 times, what we're going to do is we're going to find the value in the Mayan system to equal 10. Because remember, we're multiplying the value by 20 to convert it back. So, for 10, we could do 2 bars or we could do 10 dots. We do the 2 bars. So, we're going to put 2 bars down for the Mayan numbers. And then finally, we're going to have just the remainder of 8. Now, because it's on the bottom level or the one spot, we don't have to divide by anything because we're not going to multiply it or change any value. We're just going to put down the Mayan symbol for 8, which is going to be a bar and 3 dots, or you could do 8 dots, but we'll use the bar. That's how the Mayans would do it. So we're going to have a bar and 3 dots. So that's how you get 568 in the Mayan system. And if we were to take the time and then go back to convert it back to Hindu Arabic, we'd have to multiply each level again. So we'd have the 8 at the bottom, we'd have 10 in the middle, which we'd multiply by 20 to get to 200. And then we have the 1 at the top, which would be 360, which would in turn get us 568 when we add it all together. So that is how you convert Mayan symbols to Hindu Arabic, and then how you could convert a Hindu Arabic number back to the Mayan. The important thing to realize is that the Mayans use the vertical level system compared to us, which goes left and right, and each level is going to be worth 20. So the Mayans will have 19 symbols for the first level to equals number 1 through 19, and then so on for the second and third, and then those ones are just multiplied by 20, 360, 7200, etc., etc. So I hope you learned something. That will